How's your eye?
It feels about better. I think it's done and they feel not better now.
How you doing?
Here. Roseanne Gallia.
Here.
Gene Schott. He's absent. Janice Mullins.
Here.
Carl Hobbs. Here. John Allen. Absent. Kyle Denny is present.
And we have a quorum. Tonight, we have a public comment. Mrs. Linda Anderson, you have the floor. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been a nurse for 31 years, and in the recent few years ago, I had the opportunity to work for a senior living community. So I would like today to speak to you on behalf of the patient's perspective of why it's important for us to move forward on our assisted living facility in the back property. And to address a few concerns that people may have about that. We have a very strong senior community here in Lavaca County, and many of our seniors remain in their home probably longer than they should. Their only other option as of right now is to leave their home and go to a nursing home. Now, I am not here to speak anything in any negative way about the nursing homes. We have great nursing homes. We're fortunate enough to have several different options. But there are a lot of times when someone who's been in their home as long as they have is not ready to go to a nursing home. They still feel that they're independent enough. They don't want to give up their control. They don't want to give up driving. They don't want to give up their pets, so on and so on. So what happens is they stay too long. They have falls. We see them here in the hospital because they broke a hip. They fell. There wasn't someone there to help them. These senior living communities have done extensive research on dementia process. And they have actually proved that a senior person living in their home by themselves with no human interaction, often because they're afraid to go outside, they may not have a way to get even to the grocery store or to church once a week because they can't drive any longer, but they're still living at home. And what happens is because they lack that human interaction, that perpetuates the dementia process and actually accelerates it. And they have actually proven that. So what assisted living does is it fills that gap between living at home and having to go to a nursing home. Now, assisted living does not in any way take away from nursing home patients. As a matter of fact, it actually helps that process along. The facility that I worked in had independent living, assisted living, and then long-term care all in one place. And so people would go from the independent living. When they could no longer do that, they went to assisted living, and then they went to long care. And we called that aging in place. And so assisted living here in Lavaca County would allow our residents to age in place in the community. Currently, people have to drive 45 miles away to get to an assisted living facility. And I have actually taken care of patients myself here that assisted living would have been a perfect option, but because the family doesn't want to go out of Hallettsville, they live here, they want mom and dad to stay here, their only option then is to pay for private sitters, which is very costly, or the nursing home option, which they are not ready to address that as of yet. If a patient had the ability to go to assisted living, they can take their vehicle with them. If they still drive, they would still be able to drive. They would be allowed to have their pet. I would say to those who aren't sure, go visit an assisted living facility. These people are specifically trained in dementia care, where even here we're not that much. Our nursing homes are not that much, but because most of assisted livings are private pay, they are for profit, so they want to make sure that they are providing the very best care and the very best as far as being able to be competitive. So for that reason, they really focus on what they can do to keep these patients as independent as possible for as long as possible, keep them moving, keep them active, keep their brain active. They have very specific exercise that they do that keeps their brain going, keeps their joints going, so that they can live a much fuller life for a longer period of time. They focus on the residents' dignity, which tends to get lost as we age and we lose some different controls of the things we're able to do. They really focus on maintaining that person's dignity for as long as they can. Let's see. Also, because I worked in a senior living community, I know one of the concerns that was addressed in a previous meeting was that the landowner or Lavaca Medical Center would be somehow responsible for any thing that happened at the assisted living community. Well, I am here to tell you that in 2017, when Hurricane Harvey hit, I was working in a senior living community in Victoria, Texas, and we had to evacuate out all of our staff. And when we returned, many of the houses had mold issues. They had roofs torn off of the houses. And at no time ever was the landowner responsible for those repairs. That solely falls to the community that builds the facility. They're responsible for anything that goes on in the facility. They also pay their own property taxes. Because they are most of them are for profit. So that's really, I just wanted to address that issue because coming from a nursing standpoint of view and having dealt with a lot of senior patients, I think that assisted living community here in our community and being able to offer that to our patients, our residents of Lavaca County is just a tremendous opportunity for Lavaca County. It's a great opportunity for Lavaca Medical Center to be able to put something in place that will really help our residents here in Lavaca County. So thank you for your time.